So I've been watching Life is Strange True Colors Let's Plays. I already mentioned in a couple other videos I did with this for this game that I'd at least watch some Let's Plays. The main person I'm watching is Stop Meo. I've been bouncing around. I watched I'm Dante's first episode, and I forgot the other person's name. Jazzy Jazzy Guns or something. The sister. But anyway, I've been watching a couple of the Let's Plays, like I said, mainly Stop Bo. The game itself is very bland and very boring. It's beautiful to look at graphically, like I was saying um, in the previous uh, video for this game, but overall it's just bland and boring. For some reason, she being Ola from Stop Me, is super into the characters. She was talking like Alex is like one of the best, or maybe the best lead character for the series, which I just don't see. She's just very bland and just there. She's just nondescript. Um, she's got amazing superpowers, which are absolutely ridiculous. She's a psionic. She can do psychometry. She can pick up an object and get all kinds of psychic impressions from it. She fucking an empath. All kinds of shit. Looks like she gets super strength from feelings too. Like the scene where she beats up what's his name, Mac, who's beating up Gabe, her brother. She gets so mad she runs over there and beats the fuck out the dude. Um, the thing though about this game, besides it being very boring, is the thing you always see with like the I don't know SJW community. The SJW community is something about how toxically positive they are about shit like this. Um, any kind of dissent, anybody who just simply says, "Hey, this game is kind of lame and boring. It doesn't feel like the first game." Someone always has to jump in and give you a lecture and treat it like it's some kind of moral failing if you don't like this fucking series. Or the thing is, like I said, I only really like Life is Strange and Before the Storm. I don't give a shit about the second game, and currently watching this third game, I don't give a shit about it either. It's very boring. Technically, they've improved things, and they have some interesting stuff with like this role playing that they're doing. But the characters are flat and boring, and the situation is just dragging, and nothing's really happening. They had a really, at least one or two really good scenes. One involving the lady who I said was trans, the old lady who owns the flower shop. She's not trans, but they referenced a trans character in there somewhere. Someone, I think, Steph, uh, has a trans band member or something. I don't know what's going on with that because it's one of those psychometric things. She picked up an object, Alex, and Steph's memories and impressions was on it, along with somebody complaining about, "I'm the only trans person in a small town of 4 people." And it's like, why are you announcing yourself like that? Like, you have to tell me you're trans. Like, none of this is done organically. But anyway, the flower shop lady apparently isn't trans, but she's got Alzheimer's. And so there's a sequence where, as Alex, you help her remember what the fuck she's supposed to be doing in her shop. And it's just like little silly busy work stuff. But by the time you help her recover her memory, um, the flower shop lady, Eleanor, I think her name is, by the time you tell her, um, you good, you remember what the fuck he was doing now? Because before I left, he was acting all like, what the hell's going on? And so, like I said, you go through this whole rigmarole and you help her retrace her steps, and she gets her memory back about an order for flowers. And I believe, and I might have missed this because I'm watching a Let's Play. I was watching Let's Play, so I just doing other stuff while I'm watching it. But I believe that the flower order was for Gabe's wake, because at this point Gabe is dead, and they had a wake, and somebody ordered flowers. I think the bartender owner guy ordered the flowers. And so she was like, "What are these flowers for anyway?" And then you get the option to tell her, "Hey, stupid, it's for Gabe's wake." Or you could just not tell her anything and spare her, like from being hurt. So Ola from Stop Me O chooses, to tell her, "Hey, look, it's for Gabe's wake." And Eleanor goes, Gabe's wake? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then the look of realization on her face was perfect. Because she's like, oh, fuck. I can't believe this dude I care about so much died. I knew he died, and I fucking forgot. And I didn't even go to his fucking wake. It was really well done. And the graphics and the facial animations, the performance was really well done. So that was good. It was effective. But part of the issue for me, or a big part of the issue for me about all of this, besides it being bland and nondescript or whatever, is the fact that the main story, the fact that Gabe died is a mystery, but it's a weird kind of mystery because when I was doing a video earlier, the first 15-minute reveal, and you see the little stupid kid, Ethan, the son of Gabe's girlfriend, when you meet him and he's talking about he's going to go run off into a mine or whatever, and I was like, don't get lost in the mine, Dodo Bird. And I was annoyed by the fact that this kid's going to go run off in the mine. It's going to be a big thing. He's going to get hurt. He's going to be in trouble. Alex has got to go find him and save him. It's just like, oh, here we go. I thought all of that was going to happen, or we knew it. Anybody who it's played it knew that part because Dante, when he gets to that part and he's like, and that's the thing, the 15-minute reveal doesn't show you Alex finding a notice that says from the mining company, hey, we about to start lighting the fucking mines up later today. So you better make sure you don't get your stupid ass over there because we're going to fuck you up if you do. She asks Gabe and says, hey, y'all have explosions in this town? And he's like, yeah, there's a bunch of them out in the mountains. You know, something like you get used to it or whatever. I don't know. I forgot. But he just basically said, yeah, we have explosions. They're up in the mountains. The mining company does it, whatever. So in the reveal, you don't see that part. But when you're playing the game, at least the people I've watched play it, when the stupid fucking kid says he's going to go to the mine, you don't get the option to say, hey, but aren't they going to like light that shit up tonight? Are they going to blow shit up? Are you sure you should be going up there? Because they're going to be setting off bombs and shit. You're never given that option. She just looks all, and he goes, oh, I shouldn't have told you. And then she can either say, well, be careful, or, hey, I have no right to judge you being a stupid fucking kid who decides to go to a mine when you know they set off bombs in that area. So I don't know. But anyway, Dante read the notice, and so when he was talking to the kid, he was like, "What? Aren't they blowing shit up over there? What do you mean you going to go fucking play in the mines?" Like he's commentating as he's doing the let's play. So immediately you know, okay, this is going to be an excuse for you to have to go save this stupid fucking kid. But I thought if that's going to happen, it's just some way, busy work for her to show you her using her powers or something like whatever. I don't know. But come to find out, it's worse than that. The kid Ethan going off into the mine is the reason why her brother Gabe dies. So later, after the record shop scene, she leaves the record store with Gabe. Gabe bumps into Ethan. And you know what? I should probably just play this game. I should just buy it and play it. I've been thinking that I should do Let's Plays on certain games that I have things to say that if I go onto somebody else's channel and commentate on it, you have people attacking me for not agreeing with it or whatever. Or sometimes I'm praising the game or whatever, and people disagree. But usually when I have something to say, it's about something that's stupid, that people seem to just be ignoring um, the bullshit about. And in this game in particular, I know people liked or defended the kid from the second game. What was his name? Dave? Danny? Daniel? I can't remember the stupid fucking kid from the second game because I hated that game. I just stopped watching it and I never did buy it to play it. But anyway, so here people seem to really love it. And one of the things with Ola, I've watched her playthrough up until chapter 4, and but every 10 seconds she's just really, I don't know, she's just super performative about how excited she is about playing the game. And like, Alex is wearing a skirt, she's like, oh my god, she's wearing a skirt. Or you know she looks at a tree and a memory is unlocked, she's like, oh my god, a memory. And it's like, okay, this is too much. The thing is, Ola's cool, so I don't want to go off on her about it. But I remember one of the things I really liked about her when she did The Last of Us Part 2, she did not hide the fact that she didn't like it. And she spoke very eloquent. Look, she's spoken more eloquently than me, but she spoke very eloquently and articulately about how, what the issues were about the game. Didn't matter. People in the comments was going off on her about not liking it. And I would get there and sort of agree with whatever she was talking about, and people would attack me. And it was like they made it a moral issue. And anybody knows when you're dealing with SJWs, that's what it is. As soon as you complain about something that they like, whether they really like it or not, but they believe they're supposed to like it, they attack you as being like a horrible person with bad character. They can't just disagree, or they can't just leave it alone. They can't just go, yeah, man, this guy doesn't like it, and then just mind their business. They have to jump in and start taking, you know, shots at you and talking all this shit. And this is not something I feel devastated about. It's just that they tell on themselves all the time when they do this. This really toxic tribal mindset where they have to go, no, no, it's great. It's great. Don't say anything that's going to upset me. No, I'm triggered by your disagreement. So I said here. So what did I say? I mean, I got off on a tangent about, like I said, everybody's all, well, not everybody, but yeah, people defending this game. So anyway, to get back to the kid, I'll get to that before I read my comment. Let me get back to the kid. So the kid, Ethan, at least I remember his name. So when you leave, uh, anybody who even in anybody who didn't play the game, I'm trying to say, if you saw the two sort of gameplay trailers or videos, the second one or the one where you're in the record store, that's actually the first one they showed, but that happens after the first 15 minutes. So right after the first 15 minutes, you go into the record store, meet Steph, meet the guy Ryan. Gabe comes in there. Then you leave with Gabe. Gabe bumps into Ethan, and Ethan's like, "Oh, Mom, Charlotte said I have to stay at the bar tonight. I don't know what's going on there, but other people are just hanging out. Maybe it's something to do like to welcome. I think it's a shindig to welcome Alex. That's what it is. It is. Later on, you find a text or something, or like a Twitter exchange between Gabe and his boss, the bartender, about him basically saying Gabe goes like makes an announcement saying, "Hey, the bar I work at, we're gonna have free drinks to welcome my sister in here." And then I think the guy's name is Jed, the bartender's boss, is like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I ain't saying anything about no free drinks." And he's like, too late, I already did it." So anyway, you see that exchange. But so everybody's supposed to be hanging out at the bar, and Ethan says to uh, Gabe, "Hey, Mom said I got to stay at the bar, but I really would just want to go home and play and write comic books and play Last of Us Part 2 or something. I don't know." And Gabe says, and when he's saying that, Ethan, he's lying and he's looking over at Alex like, "Heh, you're not going to say anything, or you're not going to rat on me, are you?" And so Gabe goes, "Sure, dude. If you want to go home, go ahead and play. Cool." He's like, "Okay, cool, thanks." So Gabe is all proud and he tells Alex, "Man, he tells me stuff he doesn't even tell Charlotte. Like, I really like him. And she's like, "Yeah, you're dad of the year or something." He said, I'm not just, dad of the year. I'm dad plus. I'm like the best." So then she goes, "You know what? You have an option. Are you going to tell Gabe this motherfucker is going to the mines, or are you going to keep his secret?" Now, everybody that I've watched play up to this point, I don't know, maybe, I think Jazzy Guns didn't, but I didn't watch her entire playthrough. I'd be kind of just hopping around. But I know Dante was like, "I don't give a shit if this kid likes me a lot. I don't need his approval. Fuck that." And he said, he completely ratted on him. He's like, "Look, this motherfucker is going to go to the mines. You better do something." So Gabe calls the mom and says, "Hey, look, stop him from going." And that's what happens. Now, like I said, I've watched all the Stop Meos, but it's kind of like intermittent. I turn around, I'm doing something, I turn around, I see what's going on. So at a certain point, I don't have to tell this whole thing. I will, I don't care. So at a certain point, at the bar, everybody's hanging out, chilling. Ryan, the bird call guy, the one she called the tree cop, fucking stupid shit. But he's like, "Hey, that kid disappeared. Y'all see him?" And then of course they realize he went to the mine. So he was told. not to go to the mine. There are notices saying that there are going to be explosions in that area. His mom literally stopped him from going, told him to go to the bar. Instead of listening to that, this fucking piece of shit decided he's still going to go to the mine. So when Ryan goes, hey, y'all see Ethan? I haven't seen him in a little while. He just sort of disappeared. Gabe and Alex look at each other like, fuck, he went to the mine. So they go down there, or up there, or whatever, and Gabe has to call the mining company, or Gabe says he called the mining company to tell them, hey, I know you're going to set up explosions, but we got a kid up there. We got to find him first. We'll let you know when you got him. Please don't blow the shit up. So he tells Ryan and Alex, all three of them have went up there. Okay, I called and told them what's going on. So there won't be any explosions. So we just got to figure out how to find this stupid fucking idiot kid. Now, I don't understand, since he's an only kid and it's the 23rd century, that he doesn't have a cell phone. Now, they could have just said, oh, the cell phone just doesn't work in this area. Fine, I guess it's the mountains. But they don't seem to have, and I guess he does have a cell phone. They don't have a way to reach him. And maybe that was the excuse that, oh, we're in the mountains, so we lost signal. I think that Gabe must have called before they went up there. I don't know, but whatever. So anyway, you have to go through this rigmarole using uh, Alex, that's her name, Alex's mutant superpowers to find him. So you finally find this stupid fucking piece of shit kid up way out somewhere across the ravine. There's this fallen tree that's become like a bridge, and he's on this little cliff, hiding in this little alcove or something, grabbing his knee like, oh, I hurt myself somehow. Now, how the fuck this stupid fucking kid got over there, I don't know. Maybe he tried to climb a tree for whatever stupid reason, and the tree toppled over, but just happened to land across this ravine or to the other side of this little cliff. I don't know. So it's a big to do. Alex is the only one who can go over there because the tree is not strong enough to support the dudes. She's inches away over there, gets to this fucking idiot, and instead of him just letting her guide him back, it's a whole thing where he's like, I don't want to move, I'm scared, and I can't. He's not going to tell her why he's scared. You won't understand. And it's like, you dragged us out here. You never should have left in the first place. We're in a position where we could fucking die if we don't hurry up and go before this tree falls. Why are you doing this shit now? So anyway, he's like, no, I don't want to do it. And you don't understand. So it's another excuse for you to use your superpowers to try to figure out, because she can read your fucking mind and then find a way to unlock it and make you feel better somehow. So she does that. Finally, they inch their way back across this tree. And it's about to fall any moment. Kids like, they get across back to Ryan and Gabe. And she laughs, Alex, and kind of falls on her back and is like, oh my God. And she laughs in relief. Right before she could finish laughing, explosions start going off. Explosions cause some kind of chain reaction where they're all about to fall off the side of the cliff. And there's this rope that Gabe grabs onto. And I think the way it is, I can't remember exactly. Gabe is holding onto this rope. He's about to go over the side of this cliff. Ryan and Alex are trying to hold on to it. They're all about to topple off. Ryan cuts the fucking rope, and Gabe dies. So that's it. Gabe dies because they have to go to the mountains in the mine area to find Ethan, who they all told not to go to the mines. But he did it anyway. He fucking went to the mines anyway, even though they all told him not to do it. And they made a point of telling him not to do it. And there's notices in the town saying, don't go up to the fucking mines because we're going to set off explosions tonight, you fucking idiots. They even have like Twitter posts and stuff about it. Like if you look through Alex's phone, she's looking at different shit. They're announcing it in social media. We're going to blow shit up tonight. It's going to be fun as fuck. But if you're there, you get blown up. That's your fucking problem, motherfucker. Doesn't matter. Kid is so fucking stupid that he goes out there, of course gets lost, gets hurt, and then takes 10 years to decide to let himself be saved. Because if he didn't go through this whole, I don't want to do it, they could have probably gotten away before they set off the explosions. But then again, they kind of get blown up in another area. Maybe they wouldn't have died though. Because, Gabe died, but not because he got blown up, but because they had to cut him, or Ryan decided they had to cut him before he dragged them all down with him. fucked up situation. I didn't like. Look, I didn't really like Gabe. I didn't care about Gabe either way because the story didn't last. Like the story's not interesting enough for that. It's just them sitting around being boring with really corny jokes and really just lame. It's like lame, silly, boring television show that you. It's hard to describe. And like I think I might have said this already. I'm thinking I might play it. Excuse me, and do some kind of screen capture and just go ahead and put the gameplay up with some commentary, just to kind of point out, look, this is what I have a problem with. I know, like I said, Stop Mio or Ola, she's like, oh my god, I love this. This is so great. And oh, she's wearing a black skirt. And oh my god, look at the memories here. And oh, I've got a Maddie Steph. And all that stuff is fine. You know, people can like it and whatever. But to me, the toxic positivity thing comes in with, especially now because she's really like performatively loving the game, right? So maybe I have to say this before I get to my comment. So after poor Gabe dies, you know, that's the end of the chapter. I think that's chapter one. Chapter two starts with his wake, and you know, the issue becomes, uh, oh, you know, I called it in, or not I, he's dead, but Gabe called it in, and they didn't stop the explosions, and so the focus is on he died because the mining company, you know, didn't heed his warning or they didn't listen to him. And that's true. Like whatever's going on with that, and that's like it's the main storyline is the mystery of who ignored, you know, blowing up the mines after Gabe tried to tell him not to. But it's like Gabe never would have been there if it wasn't for Ethan, and nobody's addressing that. And you don't have to have them beat the kid up or anything, but you have to have people kind of talking about, look, this is a fucked up situation because never should have been there. He never should have been there. It's like a weird infantilization. He is a kid, so he's an infant in a way, but no, he's not that young. He's 11 years old. He's old enough to write his own stories, create his own comic books and stuff. But he is now acting like a little prick and not talking to anyone. But he doesn't say why. It's just that no, he's really upset. But it's like he should be upset. He literally got this guy killed. You could say, yeah, the company was evil because they did. Of course, the company is evil. They're always going to be evil. Like they said they were going to bomb the fucking place for whatever reason, and we don't know what's going on, you know. But for whatever reason, they decided, fuck you, we go still blow it up. But let them do the evil stuff in peace. The kid was already told not to go out there. He was caught going out there. He was literally stopped from going out there and then told, don't do it. And he decided, even though he's supposed to be a good kid, not to listen to his fucking mom and go out there anyway. So it's like, yeah, the evil corporation is bad, but I don't care because I'm taken out of the drama of the situation because all the kid had to do was listen and none of this would have been a problem. The, the evil fucking corporation could have just blown up shit without worrying about anybody. You know, now why the corporation would still set off bombs knowing people went out there, you know, that's absurd, but that's what the mystery is. But like I said, I don't care about the mystery because there's no real driving force. Gabe is dead, and then the game seems to really care more about, well, Ethan feels bad, so let's do some role play with him around town and make him feel better. And you know, Alex, like I said, I keep talking about Alex being such a great and complex character, but she's very bland and very nondescript. She doesn't have any real like complicated. She's not a complicated character. You know, she's not. You know, she doesn't once mention that. Man, you know, I've kind of resent this kid because we shouldn't have been out there that night. And even when we got there, he didn't make it easy for us to just take him back. He had to do this whole thing about being scared of some fucking monster or something. Like it was ridiculous. So like, but they don't address that. So they, oh, she's so complicated and stuff. But she didn't do anything. She just goes, oh, you feel bad? Let's go have a role play throughout town and pretend, you know, we're fighting dragons and stuff. And so the entire chapter three is just them running around playing and him acting like a dick for a while because he's like, no, don't make me feel better. And it's like, you know, it's your fault that all this fucking happened. Fuck the stupid mining company. We shouldn't have been out there in the first place. But anyway, so you do all this stuff, um, and finally, so you do this stupid role play in chapter three, Uh, the mom is there and gives this kid a sword that he said he always wanted or some shit. But as they're playing, the siren that alerts you that there's going to be bombs going off sounds. And he starts freaking out and goes, in his mind, it's my fault I killed Gabe. And I'm like, finally, like 5 episodes into this, the kid finally says, I killed Gabe, it was my fault. Now, what I would have done in that scene, because he's a kid, I don't believe he would ever be that stupid to do it. It's a plot contrivance to me. I don't take it seriously like this poor kid, you're going to abuse the kid for, being the reason why this guy died. I just look at it as a dumb plot contrivance. It could have come up something better because they put the kid in a bad position. But then it also puts you as a viewer in this position where you have to like have this fake toxic positivity and be like, oh, you're just a dumb kid and it's problematic to talk about children and being mean and angry with them and not giving them, SJWs don't want to have their characters have any consequence. They love cancel culture and then they pretend it's really consequence culture. But a lot of their characters are really shitty, careless, thoughtless, egocentric people who do horrible things and never get called down on it because they're supposedly the good people. So this kid um, does say, it's my fault I did it. And Alex goes over to him and says, no, it's not your fault. Okay, fine, whatever. I wouldn't, because you wouldn't run to the kid and say, yeah, it is your fault. I would just have her not say anything and look kind of like, well, I wanted to say that, but I didn't want to tell it to a little kid. But I hear you. Just, try not to think about it anymore. That's why I would say something like that. I wouldn't completely absolve him because it was his fucking fault. But after that, she tells him it's not his fault, or I would say, yeah, you know what, we shouldn't have been out there. We really should have been out there, but that company shouldn't have let those bombs off because we told them. But then, see, that's the fucked up thing about it. The kid knew too that they had bombings out there. Now, again, you don't get the option to mention that to him by saying, "Hey, don't you see these notices that say they're gonna shell the fucking place tonight?" And you never see the conversation between the mom and the kid, but you would think that they're all familiar with the bombings or whatever. She would have told him it's too dangerous to go out there, and they're fucking shelling the place tonight, so stay away. But I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, they do things conveniently. A lot of games and a lot of stories do that, where they conveniently don't tell you everything, so that they can get out of explaining, why they do certain shit. So anyway, the kid starts crying. You or Alex says, "No, it wasn't your fault." Then the next scene is you go talk to what the fuck is her name? Oh, Charlotte, the mom. And the mom's an artist, and she's doing sculpture in her house or whatever. And she's trying to be cool with you. I'm saying she's being cool with you. She's like, yeah, Ethan, daddy came, took him. He's going to spend some time with him for now. And I really appreciate you like playing with him today. He really needed that because she had complained about it earlier that he wasn't talking to anybody. And she felt bad about it. And what I mean about addressing um, the fact that it was really his fault that they shouldn't have been out there at least say it was shouldn't have been out there. I was hoping when the mom first mentioned how he was acting, no one said, wow, he feels really bad for going out there because he thinks, and it's a lot for a kid to think. And I just kind of, I don't know how to tell him, you know, that he's wrong because he's not wrong, something like some way to kind of address. He's feeling bad because he really blames himself. I feel bad for him because, there's nothing I can really say except, they shouldn't have bombed it or something, some way to kind of acknowledge that he's right, that he shouldn't have gone out there. But anyway, they don't address that. She just says he feels bad and then mentions that the company tried to give her money because of it. I don't know. But anyway, so she mentioned that before. So now after you play all day with Ethan, then you find out or you talk to the mom, and the mom says, Ethan's with the baby daddy now. I think he's in some other city or something. Um, she starts acting funny with you, and you try to talk to her, and she's like, and you say, hey, is it anything? I said you, but Alex, because I'm not even playing the game. I'm just watching the people play it. But anyway, Alex is like, you sure I can't help you? And she's like, I told you, no, motherfucker. And she's like, oh, sorry, I didn't really want to go off like that. And so Alex is like, God damn, this bitch pissed. I wonder what she's so angry about. And I'm like, This is what I mean. That this is not a really smart or great character. Alex is not great. She's really just a lump of coal. She's just whatever she needs to be in a certain situation, and she's usually just very bland and boring about it. Like there's nothing, like I said, there's nothing about her that's distinctive at all. She just goes, I wonder why she's so angry. And I would say, well, normal reaction in a situation like that is, even if it's like, oh, it's a shame to put so much in a kid. Everybody should know and recognize that the kid disobeyed, and that was why they were out there. The evil company is going to do evil company things, but you don't make it easy for them by not listening to your mom and running off in the middle of the fucking night to a fucking goddamn mine. I can't get over that. This is the story. This is the way that they decided to have this dude killed. Anyway, she's like, I don't understand why she could be so angry. Why is she upset? Her fucking boyfriend was killed. She lost a boyfriend. I don't even know how long ago. Like the way the chapters move, we don't know. I don't know how much time has passed since, but Alex pretty much got over it. She's like, I hadn't seen my brother since I was a kid, so whatever. That motherfucker's dead. The place he lives at above the bar is fucking swank. So I got everything I need. I don't care about this motherfucker. But anyway, so she's like, wow, okay, let me see if I'm gonna use my superpowers to figure out what's wrong with this bitch. So she goes around, do the whole clue thing, and finally, whatever, as she's uncovering different clues, the first thing Charlotte, the mom, says is, I hate Alex. Ever since Alex got here, everything in my life has been a mess. And I'm like, what the fuck is she blaming Alex for? Alex got there the first day she fucking got there, thanks to your goddamn son. She lost her fucking brother. And you're blaming her just for showing up? How about you look at your fucking kid? So anyway, so she's like that. And then she's like, okay, you hate me, fucking bitch. Then she goes, Gabe, I think the first thing was like, Gabe, I hate you. How could you come into my life and make me feel like a woman again? And then you just went off and died. I was like, how about you look at your son? Your son got him killed. Then she said, Alex, you bitch, you came into my life. And ever since you came into my life has been a mess. Your son did it. Like, Alex literally ratted on the son to make sure he wouldn't go out there. And he still went out there. Then Ryan, the little bird call guy in the record store, she's like, Ryan, your job is to protect us. Why didn't you? And it's like, what a stupid fucking bitch. What is she doing blaming these people who went out there to save him? They should have just, it would probably have been better if they didn't go out there until the next day. Because when they bombed the place where the kid was at, he probably wouldn't have been blown up. And then the next day when it's light, they could have just went over there and got him out. Well, I guess by that point the tree would have been gone, but whatever, who cares? It's not their fault. And finally she does more power stuff, superpower, mental telepathy shit. And then she goes, "Oh my god. It's the kid. You hate your son. You're mad at him." And then Charlotte's like, "Yeah, look, I'm a bad mom because I love my son. He's smart, he's creative, he's all these great things, but I hate him. I hate him because it's his fault. Gabe would still be alive if he'd just listened to me. All he had to do was listen to me, and he didn't do that. And and she talks about how important Gabe is to her and how he like made her feel like, as I said, made her feel like a woman again, made her feel like she could be loved and cared for." And I'm thinking the way like the way she's talking about how great Gabe was, it seems pretty shitty of her that when the story begins, the first thing you pretty much find out is that she's always fucking pissed at him, and he always has to mollify her with different fucking flowers. So it's like she says how great and wonderful he is, and she really doesn't. She's talking about, I can't live with my fucking self. I don't even live anymore because I don't have him. But it's like, you made this nigga buy you flowers every fucking day by being mad at him for something, like being real super petty. So I don't know. This nigga had a tab for all the flowers he had to buy for her. And they didn't make it like, oh, I love her and you need to buy her flowers. It was like, I do this to um, make up for whatever she's mad at me about. But I don't know. So whatever. It's just so whatever. So she's like, oh, I can't live. So you get an option to either take her anger away or let her stay with her anger. I think you should let her stay with the anger And that's what Ola did. Jazzy Guns, I think that's her name, took the anger away. And it seemed pretty simple. Once she took the anger away, she's like, huh? Did I go freak out on you? What's going on? So who knows what's going to happen with that? I don't know how much more of it I'm going to watch. It's, like I said, it's pretty bland. Um, the scene with, oh, so anyway, but that's the other scene besides the scene with Eleanor, that they addressed what Ethan did. The fact that he disobeyed, went out there and got this motherfucker killed. And it was well done, well acted, great animation or whatever. And I love that because I was thinking, I was watching it, I said, there's no way that they're going to really talk about what this kid did. Like a book would. Like if you read a book like A Tree Grows in Brooklyn or just about any book, like books seem to treat children more intelligently. They don't treat them as like little people. You treat them as human beings. Great books. Whereas a lot of times television and movies, games, they don't. They treat them like tots or something. They treat them like they infantilize them. Even like I said, even though kids are infants, they do baby them in a way that they shouldn't be babying them. They should be allowed to be intelligent, to kind of learn and grow, and to constantly sort of wipe things away and go, "Oh, poor little kid, what can you do?" Or then just make them these clever little um, super mature people. I don't know. But anyway, I appreciated the fact that Charlotte was like, I hate this motherfucker. And that just sounds harsh, and of course that's just her anger. And you don't expect her to go kill her kid or anything. But you do have the resentment. Like I said, I think about A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. And the one thing the movie didn't do that the book did, the movie really kind of, I mean, the book really, or yeah, the book did this and the movie didn't. A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, like, it's an old book. But anyway, about this little girl and this Irish family, Irish German family in Brooklyn, New York in like the early 1900s. And the movie is kind of Hollywood sanitized. It's a really good movie. But the book doesn't play around, and it really talks about how the main character, um, Frances, whose the story is basically told through, her mom really didn't like her and care about her, and really resented her, and didn't hold back about it. And so it was just interesting that like that happens in life. And there's a thing where all kids are treated like special little saints and angels in stories, and that adults are not allowed to have complicated feelings about kids or their kids. It's just all, I'll do anything for that kid. I put that kid before anything. And it's like, people have people have issues, and people are not perfect. And let's kind of look at that. So I was glad that they did that, at least that part. But I said it just puts Charlotte though in a bad position now, because you're gonna have to look at her as like kind of a terrible person, because as a mom she shouldn't be allowed to hate or express hate towards her kid for taking away somebody she loved. Because, now that she's a mom, she's just this machine. She's a machine that's supposed to take care of this stupid little piece of shit who doesn't even respect her enough to listen to her and not put his own life in jeopardy. So it's like she's a machine who's doing a bad job at telling her, like, having her kid understand that it's not smart and safe to go run off into a mine that they're about to shell. So I don't know. It's just dumb, and I just hate that they made that the reason that they went out there in the first place. There's all kinds of clever ways you can have Evil Corp be Evil Corp without doing stupid shit like we have to pretend that this kid is not the reason why they were out there. And this, all right. So anyway, let me get to when I talk about toxic positivity. I'm not able to read anybody else's comments or replies to me, but I was just thinking it's funny where I was like, I have to say, I commented this on Stop Meo's video. I have to say, I'm enjoying your Let's Play, but I'm not feeling this game. I think what has thrown me off most is how no one addressed the fact that it's Ethan's fault that Gabe died. There were notices about the blasts in the town, and he was told not to go, and he went anyway. None of them would have been up there if not for him. I'm glad they addressed it through Charlotte's anger, but the way the story is paced, you have to spend all this time playing with Ethan like nothing happened before you get to that, and I don't like the kid. I think Life is Strange should stay away from child characters going forward. It looks amazing though. I think you have a like I said, I just said it. You have this complicated situation when you have this stupid fucking kid run off, gets a grown man killed, and everybody just sort of doesn't say anything about it. They just go, "Oh, he feels bad and he won't talk to us, and I hope he gets over it." And it's not like, yeah, he's dealing with something that he really did fuck up, and I can't help but say I do resent him. But I'm gonna fight through that. They could have made Alex a more complicated person by simply having complicated feelings towards this kid. And like I said, it keeps like people have said. I saw an IGN review where they talk about how she's such a great character, and so far within 3 chapters, I have not seen that she's like I said, she's very boring and very nondescript. And she's just well, like again, because I said about SJWs, and this is very much an SJW story. They're not allowed to be people. They have to be representative of something. They have to spread, or they have to share some kind of like be some kind of moral lesson. So she can't be messy and complicated. She just has to. The only way she can be messy and complicated is if it's more about her having been a victim once. She's just a victim to her great powers. And if she can only learn how to handle them, she can help other people too. It's not about, hey, these powers have fucked me up to a place where I'm problematic too. So I don't know. So I said that, and then I got these little pricks. I'd say little these. Really just one. I had other couple of people who just try to re-explain what was happening to me and telling me, oh, he's just a kid. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't care. There's nothing to do with it. One prick in particular was trying to make it sound like, and it's the SJW thing, where they go, I don't want to make sound like I'm being mean or come off like bad. But what's the fuck with all you people blaming the kid for doing it? It was the evil company corporation. It's like everybody who starts up saying something like, you know how they say, um, no disrespect, but, which means disrespect. Or I don't mean to come off as an asshole, but I'm about to come off as an asshole. So I just replied to that person, whatever their stupid thing was, but they basically just wanted you to just accept that the kid is stupid and that him being up there was not the problem. It was the corporation for blowing it up, and that's what you're supposed to focus on. And I responded with, look, all the points I made before, all the points I just made. Kid never should have been there. They never should have been there. Corporation can just bomb away. That's fine. But since he was there, that's what got them or got this dude killed. So if you're fine with the kid running out there and doing that, that's on you. But don't make it like there's a problem with all those of us who are complaining about it because we're just not accepting it and not being critically, not using critical thinking. So then this prick responds with, it's not a good look when you suggest someone's a moron for not agreeing with you. And it's like, oh, fuck yourself. I don't give a shit how it looks. And for another thing, you're the asshole who came into my fucking reply. It was addressed to Ola. He came into my reply to lecture me about my problem with this stupid fucking kid. Like there was a problem with me for not liking a kid, not liking the story. And now he's sitting there trying to lecture me about, oh, you calling people who don't agree with you a moron. No, I'm calling you a moron, piece of shit. But so he went off again trying to explain the story again, and I just told him, look, I don't know what it is with people like you who are snide in the very first fucking reply when nobody's fucking talking to you, then have the nerve to act like you're the aggrieved party when somebody pushes back against you. Like, I'm not in your fucking college course class or whatever. Like, I don't need you to tell me what I need to like or not like or how I need to approach something. If I don't like it, I don't like it. You can go fuck yourself. So, and I was telling him, look, I'm not going to go back and forth with you because this is Ola's channel and I know she likes positivity and all this stuff. So, basically, go fuck yourself. You can like it or not like it. I don't like the kid. I don't like the storyline. Fuck off. I mean, I think he replied again, but I'm done. I'm not going back and forth with this idiot because it doesn't matter. I learned this thanks to The Last of Us Part 2. when I considered myself an SJW before I played The Last of Us 2. I when I would go on her channel, other people's channel, and talk about, yeah, this is terrible about this, and I hate how they did this, and people who'd never played the first game would hop in to defend the second game, and they were only defending it because they felt like morally they had the high ground because there was an ugly and unattractive female character who took over, and they had a little trans boy. So now morally, if you don't like the game, there's something wrong with you, and you have to be lectured about it. Like there's a YouTuber. What is her name? She does makeups. She does her makeup while she reviews movies, and she's funny. Well, I like her enough. She's kind of a little too. I can't describe what it is, but I don't want to get into that. But I'm not going to say it. But anyway, her name. I think her name is Kenny D. She does good movie reviews. Like she's funny. But she can be a little off-putting sometimes. But anyway, one of the things is, I it's annoying when before a review she feels like she has to lecture everybody about all the problematic elements of something and talk to people as if they're kids, as if they don't understand, or they can't watch a movie or they can't watch a TV show without recognizing what's bad about it. And that sometimes things are just entertainment. And just because there are problematic people in problematic situations doesn't mean it's an endorsement for it and that people are just going, oh, wow, this is really romantic. I mean, even people who like that shit and say that it is romantic for these obsessive characters to be in toxic relationships doesn't necessarily mean that they are going out and getting involved in relationships like that. A lot of times they're just dumb kids who are not in relationships at all. But anyway, I just say that to say that there's a whole trigger warning, toxic positivity um, mentality with a lot of people today that if you criticize something they don't like, it's an attack on their moral character. If you have a problem with a certain group or with a character from a certain group doing something, if you attack or you don't like it, you criticize that, all of a sudden it becomes an attack on children. If you say, this kid was stupid for not listening, I'm literally having people in my replies telling me, he's just an 11-year-old kid. I was not that stupid at 11 years old. He's clearly a bright kid. He was told, like, the thing is, he tried to lie. And it wasn't enough to him to go, hey, this girl who seems pretty cool literally ratted on me because she didn't want me to go. My mom fucking told me not to go. And instead of me listening, I'm going to go. And the fact, like I said, and so I don't care how young the kid is. Nobody's that fucking stupid. So, but that's basically it, I think. I might have mentioned this already. I don't know. I've been just going off. Uh, I may play it though. I may get a capture card. I may do some let's plays, so I can talk about this shit without people constantly, weaseling their way into my my replies on other people's channels. And then when I want to fight back, I'm more worried about, making the YouTuber look bad. Like I don't want to sit there and talk shit to people too much on Stop Me O's channel or whatever. But if they come into my own comments or whatever, I don't care. I'm fine with that. I can go off. But after a while, it just gets tiresome because these people are not serious. They're just idiots. Like the twerp who kept replying to me, like, I don't need you to tell me what a good look is, twerp.